Hey everybody, it's Jennifer Hoffman, and this is a little pop-up live because I want to talk about something that I just mentioned on my Facebook page a little while ago. It causes me great distress, as you've seen, when people get polarity and duality mixed up because they present them as the same thing. They could not be more different. And the fact that they are making them the same thing is really interfering with our understanding of polarity and duality and our ability to integrate 5D energy and to see the whole ascension process as an integration and not a takeover. So for those of you who are just joining me, no, it's not Wednesday, but I'm just doing this little thing because I was thinking about it while I was eating dinner, and I thought, okay, I'll just get on and I'll do a little live and I'll use my props. So let's say the green ruler is 5D and the light or clear ruler is 3D. So when we have polarity, think of poles, opposites, like the North Pole, the South Pole. So when we are polarized with someone, we are here, they're over here, and there's this vast energy gap in between us. This is polarization. When we say things are polar opposites, they are literally opposite each other. They may be on the same timeline, on the same energy wave, on the same frequency, but they are polar opposites. They are on either side of that situation. So polarity is a 3D construct. Polarity means opposites, separation. Think of competition, win or lose. That's light or dark. That's polarization. That's a 3D paradigm construct. It is a very integral part of the 3D paradigm. So this is polarization. When we talk about duality, think of dual, like, you know, those trucks that have like two wheels on either side. So they have like four wheels in the back. We call them dualies. They have two tires. So think of duality. So in order to understand the difference between polarity and duality, look at it this way. So 3D and 5D are polarized. So here they're polarized. Here they're aligned. There's an alignment. They're on top of each other. And this is duality. When they're sitting right on top of each other, they're integrated. They are completely integrated. There's not one that's more important or better or worse than the other. This is a complete integration. So when we talk about duality versus polarity, with duality, we're talking now about an integrated 5D model. This is the 3D, 5D integration. This is what we call heaven on earth, right? That's our job, bringing heaven on earth, not destroying the earth so heaven can take over, but actually creating heaven on earth. So remember, polarity, things are polar opposites. They're on either side. If I say I'm right and you're wrong, we are on polar opposite. We're two different poles, like the North Pole, South Pole. Light and dark is a 3D paradigm. Light, dark, and there's a separation. That's polarization. Alignment is when they're aligned, but they're still polarized. There's still a separation. And this then is integration. This is what has to happen in order for duality to occur. So when we have duality, we can be multi-dimensional. We can be in 3D and 5D at the same time. With duality, we have the different dimensions. In the case of this year's the 3D, 5D, and they work together. There's alignment, but there's also integration. You've heard me talk about integration as separate because it's not just enough to be aligned with something, because that just means that, yeah, we're kind of on the same wavelength. When it's integrated, now we have a fully functional, congruent system that operates in synergy and that operates in harmony. And the reason this is important, as I said, is people talk about polarity and duality, and they talk about them as though they're the same thing. They're completely different. Polarity is a completely 3D paradigm. There is no polarity in anything above the 3D paradigm. Duality is the fully congruent model. We're fully aligned. We're fully integrated. And we have duality. We have multi-dimensionality. if you're one of those people, or you know people who say, oh yeah, well, I'm operating in the seventh dimension, or I'm operating in the ninth dimension, and they're so kind of out there that you can't even talk to them, they may believe that they're in, kind of a higher dimension, but they're polarized. They can't integrate that 5D energy, and they can't take that energy they have and integrate it into the 3D model. When we integrate a higher energy into our lives, we embrace duality, we embrace multidimensionality, and then that allows us to function in that particular energy. But without understanding duality and its difference from polarity, we stay polarized. So you could be in 5D and be completely unable to function in your 3D paradigm, and you're still polarized. You have to have duality to have that full ascension model intact. And I hope that helps you. Let me put my glasses on so I can read some of the comments. What a surprise. Hi, everybody. I just want to tell you, it's not Wednesday. I think it's Saturday. So anyway, I hope that helps you understand. I hope that gives you some clarity about this. This is a topic that I get a little hot and bothered about, as you can tell from my earlier Facebook comment, because it's so important to understand that in order to really embrace the whole 3D, 5D ascension model of integration, we have to embrace duality. We have to be able to function on multidimensional levels. So we have to be able to function in 3D and function in 5D and above to bring, remember, heaven on earth. This isn't about destroying the earth so heaven can take over. This is about a fully integrated model where we have alignment, integration, duality, and divine congruence. And that is where we are. This is where we are headed. This is where many people are finding themselves, even though it's still a little bit uncomfortable. We're still working out the kinks. But when you feel a lot of discomfort in the 3D world, especially with everything that's going on right now, it's because you've achieved this duality, but you're trying to figure out how to fit it into that 3D model. And it's not easy because so much of the 3D model is completely inconsistent with the 5D model, especially as we see like the 3D world kind of falling off a cliff, and we're desperately trying to claw some of it back so that we can at least have something to live in. We're not moving into a fully 5D model without any, because where would you live, right? There's no foundation in 5D. It's all energetic. So we need a physical manifestation for the energy, and that's duality. So polarity, separated. Here's approaching duality is alignment. You align with energy. And then duality. Multidimensionality is duality. It is the perfect integration, an alignment, and the manifestation of the 3D, 5D ascension model. So you have the 5D energy fully functioning in your 3D world. And you just stick them together, and then you're in that miracle zone. Then you're in that higher frequency where, just as a reminder, life isn't perfect. You still have challenges, but you have different ways of dealing with it. You have a higher ability to function through it, or to at least kind of see what's happening around you and to be able to move beyond it and move through it. So some of these had great explanation. So Nancy says, I thought I had my days wrong. That's why I said a couple of times, it's not Wednesday, it's Saturday. I just wanted to jump on board and talk to you about this whole polarity duality thing, and at least give you some props and give you an example, because we have to understand duality, and we have to allow duality to happen to allow this integration to occur so that we become fully functional, fully 3D, 5D. And as I'm saying this, I'm getting this thought that, 3D is becoming so uncomfortable for so many people. And I've talked to so many clients over the last few weeks who are, losing their jobs. There are issues within families. There are problems right now. And, my feeling is that, well, two things. One is the darkness, so that the actual density of 3D is just coalescing, and it's becoming, this like massive, ugly, stinky ball of energy. And it's causing a lot of people to want to move out of 3D. but the integration has to happen. And I think that some of what's happening is kind of designed to make 3D so uncomfortable that we just want to abandon 3D and go, you know what? Heck with this. I'm just going over here. I'm going to live in my own little 5D dimension. I'm going to go into my own energy and I'm not going to worry about everything else. And it's tempting, but we have to create our 3D reality at a 5D level. So that's why we have to allow that duality, the multi-dimensionality. How can I raise the energy of my 3D world, align it with 5D, and then allow that integration to happen so that I'm fully integrated in 5D, but I'm still living my 3D life. I have fabulous job. I have fabulous friends. I have a fabulous life. I live in a wonderful place where I'm surrounded with like energy people and like spirited people. This is what we need to focus on. So focus on the duality. Invite the duality into your life. Bring that energy in so that we can start shifting this whole 3D mess into a higher frequency, into a higher paradigm. And that is going to allow us to feel better, to feel more comfortable, to find those communities that are right for us, to find the people and the communities and the geographic locations that are right for us. It doesn't mean everyone's going to make the shift, because they won't, but it's going to mean that it's going to be a lot more comfortable for you. So just in review real quickly, polarity, polar opposites, polarity, light, dark, good, bad, North Pole, South Pole. Polarity is a 3D paradigm. It is the central energy of the 3D paradigm. Competition, control, rulers, servants, government people. This is what we're facing. And what else? What is the most polarizing thing? And I'm not going to say it because I'm going to be censored if I do. What is the most polarizing thing that is happening in the world today? The you know what and the not you know what. That's polarization. It is actually being forced on us in massive amounts right now. So this is polarity. If you say, oh, I'm going to move over to 5D, just heck with all you people, you're still polarized. Now you're just separated from 3D. Here's 3D, here's 5D. And what's in the middle? A big energy gap. It's still polarity. You have to align 5D energy with your reality and then integrate it. And then what do you have? Duality, dual, two. It always makes me think of those pickup trucks that have, like the four wheels in the back. They look kind of like squatting frogs if you're behind them on the road. They have two tires on the left and two tires on the right, and they call them dualies. Duality, two. 5D, 3D, aligned, integrated, congruence. This is our ultimate goal. This is what we're working towards. And this is what is going to get us out of the really dense energy and the really heaviness that we're feeling right now. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. Somebody says I'm blocked. Yeah, I know. That's why I have to be careful what I say, because Facebook will censor, and you know what? That's just it's just a pain. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you. So I hope that's helpful. Remember, polarity, duality. Dual is two. Duality is multi-dimensionality. 3D, 5D, aligned, integrated, and congruent. That's what we're after. That's what we're looking at. So thanks everybody for watching. And the video will be here when you in my Facebook pages, in the groups too, that I'm broadcasting to. So I hope that's helpful. This is such an important concept. It is so critical for us to understand this concept of duality and bringing heaven on earth. So think of 5D as heaven. Here's 3D earth, heaven on earth. Remember, I always say ascension is an integration. It's not a takeover. We're not throwing 3D away so 5D can take over. 5D is pure energy. We need that 3D material, that material world, to be able to integrate the 5D into it. And then there you have duality. Remember, dual, two. So as Lynn says, duality is a good thing. Duality means literally dual, two. It's like in our own personal energy field, we have what? We have ego and spirit. We have the physical, the material. We have the emotional and energetic. when we embrace duality, when we allow the spiritual side of us to integrate with the physical side of us, we have that ability to be multidimensional. When we're polarized, we have, we have like the material side, the spiritual side, and there's this massive energy gap in between. So polarity is opposition, duality is integration and congruence. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you again on Wednesday and maybe before. But I just wanted to share that with you because, like I said, it is so important right now. We really need to understand this concept of duality, of full integration and congruence. Congruence is a key word here. We need to understand this principle of congruence in order for us to be able to withstand the pressure we're under right now on the 3D side, to bring in that 5D energy that allows us to rise above that 3D and fully integrate the 3D model. So earlier today, I posted this little meme, and I was thinking about, I was watching some things, and I was seeing things that are going on, and more is being discovered. And I was like, oh, this is so awful. And I was feeling a bit down, just not a lot. I'm not the kind of person who gets depressed, but I was feeling a little down and rather overwhelmed by the scope of what's going on. And then I thought, you know what? I'm looking at this and I'm being shown this. So I know what to bring in. I know what to focus on, and I know how much energy to bring in and how much energy to receive. So when you get, you see all the stuff that's going on, and you wonder, why am I watching this? Or why was this all of a sudden, why did this pop up on my screen? Or why did it pop up on my phone? I think it's because we need to know that there are problems, there are challenges, and our job is to bring in light. So where does the light need to go? Well, if we don't know, then we can't bring it in, right? So if we know that, hey, we need to support the protesters, or we need to bring more light and more energy to this place, or this place needs our support, or there are people who are doing yeoman's work here and who really need our protection and our support, and just to shine that light on them so that they can be supported in the work that they're doing, then that's what we need to do. So thank you, everybody. And Nancy's going to go listen from the start. So anyway, I didn't mean for this to be long. I just wanted to share that. Just remember, polarity, duality. The 3D, 5D ascension integration is full multi-dimensionality. You need to understand it requires duality. For you to be able to carry multiple dimensions, multiple frequencies, be in multiple dimensions at the same time, multi-dimensional. So you can be in 3D and 5D at the same time. You bring, remember, heaven on earth. You bring that energy into your reality. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. See you all Wednesday. I'll probably do a few little pop-up broadcasts here and there. We had some big solar flares, so watch for the solar storms coming up. We have quite an intense solar storm happening right now. So if you're not sleeping, or you're just feeling weird, or you are struggling right now, it's for a good reason, and you're not alone, and other people are too. Anyway, I love you all. Thanks for watching, and I will speak to you again soon.